Hello everyone, welcome to dotenv. In this video, we are going to continue further from the previous video that we've learned how to develop Node API. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to refactor the code and how to make the code more clean. We are going to implement MVC architecture in our application. And if you don't know about this course, I recommend you watch my previous video. And if you don't want to watch the previous video, you just clone the code from my GitHub dotenv, and then go to Node API, and then you just clone this code. Also, you have to make sure that you include your own MongoDB driver over here. You have to include your own MongoDB driver. You have to go grab it from your own account. And don't forget to type npm install to install node package, and type npm run dev to run the application. After you run the application, you can go to Insomnia to fetch the product from your application. Alright, let's continue. The first step that we are going to do is to create .env files. It's not a good idea to put the database driver directly in the code. I'm going to put it outside in .env files. Alright, let's create .env files over here. And then over here, you can type like Mongo URL. And then you just cut this one and put it over here. The next step, you need to install a Node.js library to help you access variable in .env files. Okay, let's go to your web browser and then type npm js.com and then search for .env. Okay, click on over here. This is how you install .env. Copy this code, go back to here, and then stop our application, paste it over here, hit enter, and then type npm run dev again to run the application, and then go back to server.js. We have to include .env over here. So if you go back to the documentation, you can see how to include it into your application. Here, how you can include it. Copy this code and go back here. You put it on top over here. And then we can access to .env files over here. I will create a variable to store a variable from .env files. For example, over here, I create a corn variable. Name is Mongo URL equal to process.env.mongo URL. This Mongo URL is this one. Okay. Next step, we just copy this variable name and paste it over here. And then save. There's no error. And one more thing, you can change the port number. Instead of put port number directly over here, you can put it in .env files. For example, over here, I can put port equal to 3000. Save it. And then over here, I can create variable port equal to process.env.port. Okay, and if it doesn't see the port from .env files, I just use this 3000. Okay, save it. And over here, instead of typing directly here, we just put port. We call variable port. And over here, you can call variable port as well. $, curly braces, and then put port. Save it. You see it's worked. If you go back to Insomnia, if you send a request to products, nothing happened, you get the same result. Alright, you've done how to refactor.env. The next step, we are going to implement MVC architecture in our application. Let's take a look at our architecture. Okay, this is the architecture of our application. You see, we only have model that's connect to database, and this is our Node application. Node application has only model, which is over here, model, and our main files is server.js. I want our application to follow MVC architecture. So that means our application should has a controller, model, and view. Right now we are developing the backend part. So when we talk about the backend part, we only talk about route instead of view. Our application won't have view yet until we dig into the front end part. So that will be the view of our application. Okay, we are going to start from route. Okay, let's go back to our code and then create a new folder. Okay, and then name is routes. Okay, over here I will create a file named product route.js. We will include all product route over here. So why do I have to include product route inside these files? Because can you imagine if you have a lot of route in our application? So your code is going to be million of lines if you include in only one files. Okay, that's why we have to separate it into multiple files so we can handle it easily when it has a problem. Over here we have product route. Here the product route start from here. Okay, we can copy all product routes, copy it or cut it, okay, and paste it over here. And then over here I have to include express over here. Con in express equal to require express. Okay, and then I can create con router from express dot router, and then I just use router instead of app over here. Okay, it's gonna be something like this. The next step, we have to export the router out to server.js. So over here I put modules and exports equal to router. That means I export all router out of these files. And over here, because we use model, we have to include model into these files as well. Here you see we use model, we have to include. We can copy it from here, or we just cut it from here because we don't use it over here anymore. Okay, and paste it over here. Okay, the next step, we have to import this product route to server.js. Over here I can put con product route, okay, equal to require routes and then product route. And next step, I have to use middleware to use this product route. Okay, over here on top over here I can use app.use, so I can put URL over here, root directory, and then product route. And over here I will put API because we want a client to put API first because this is API. Why is not found? Where is the error? We still has an error over here. It say doesn't see the product model. Yeah, this route, so we have to make sure that you put 2 dot over here and save it. There is no error. Okay, you have to make sure that you put the correct path because we have moved these files inside route, so we have to put double dot over here. All right, save it. And if you go to Insomnia and if you send a request to /product, you will get nothing because I have put API over here. So you have to put API first here you have to put API first, then products. Here you get the same result. And if you wanna like fit a single product, backslash and API over here and hit send, you get nothing. Maybe you copy the ID from here, just put the ID from here, send. See, you get the same result. It's only refactor code. Okay, because API over here, I just want to get rid of product over here is too repetitive, so we can remove the product from here. So put only root, and the product over here we remove it out. Remove this out, and then we just put is over here, product. Okay, save. And if you go back to Insomnia and send a request, you have to save this one. I think I forgot to save this file. Save these files and save these files, and then go back here and send a request to product. See, you get the same result. Send here, you get the same result. It's work the same. Alright, the next step, we are going to learn how to create controller. So we have routes separate from server.js right now. The next step, we have to create controller. So let's create controller folder over here, controller. And then we can create a new files over here, product controller.js. The next step, we are going to refactor route. We are going to move some code over here to product controller. So the code will be separate between routes and controller. So your code will be more clean. Okay, let's go back to routes and product routes over here. Actually, routes should have only routes. Right now, we include all logic in routes. So we should separate it, and we should move this logic to controller. One thing that I want you to remember is that all logics need to be inside controller. Okay, we are moving it to controller. Here, I will move this all here. Cut it, and you go here, and then you just create arrow function. I will put con, name is get products. Okay, and then just paste the code that we just copy over here. Okay, we have this function. Because we use model over here, we have to import model here. Con product equal to require. Here, model, and then product model. In the architecture over here, you will see controller connect to model. Here is controller, and here is model. Okay, and get products over here, you have to export it out. Okay, we put module.exports. We have multiple export over here, so we put curly braces, and then we copy the function name over here, put this over here. So that means we export this out, and over here you will see route connect to controller. If you go to product route, we have to include controller over here. So con over here, we want to include this one here. Okay, include this over here, equal to require, and then controllers and product controller. So we copy this one and just put it over here. Here, see, the code is more clean. We just do the same thing for this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, all right. I will comment this one. Okay, get all product. Okay, the next one is get a single product. Okay, we can create function over here, get product, and then go back to product routes, and then cut this one, okay, and paste this over here, save it, and then over here we just put get product, and here we forget to export it out. We have to export it out, and over here we have to include it into routes, and then use this over here. Okay, save. And if we go back to Insomnia, we fetch a product here, it's work the same because we didn't change anything. We just only refactor the code to make it more clean. Okay, and then just cut this one and go to product controller, create a new controller, comment it, create a product. Okay, put con create product function, paste it over here, export it out, and in product route import it over here and use this over here. See, so simple. How about update? Do the same. Cut this one, go here, and then put update a product over here, con update product equal to this logic or this code, and then copy this one, export it out, and in route we have to call it over here and use it over here. See, our code is more clean. Route is route, controller is controller, all logics in controller, all route in route. Okay, and this one, cut it and put con delete product equal to this function, and then export it out, delete product. Okay, and go back to routes, and then include it over here, delete product. Okay, use this over here, save. Okay, let's test it again. So for example, if I want to delete this product, I go to delete URL, paste it over here, and over here I have to put API, and I send it. See, it's returned back the item that is deleted. So if I fetch a single product again, send here, I get now. Okay, we successfully implement MVC architecture in our application. And in the future, if you want to create a Crud for other things such as a user or a category, you just create a model over here, and then you just create like user model.js, and then over here you have to include like user controller.js, and then over here you just like create user route.js, and over here in server.js you have to include a user route to here, right? It's gonna be something like this, user route, and then this is user route, and over here you have to copy this one and use this over here, and then just rename it to users, and this one it can be like user route. Okay, and in this file you have just create the same thing like these files, and these files will be similar to these files, and these files is also similar to these files. So this is gonna be the simple step for you to do to update your code if you wanna include more feature in your application. Okay, but I don't want include anything in my application, so I'm gonna remove this thing. I just wanna show you how it's work. Okay, let's remove it. Remove it, delete this one, and delete this one to go back to the same thing. And in server.js over here, let's remove this one and this one too. Okay. Alright, the next step, we are going to learn how to create a custom middleware. I'm going to mention about how to create an error middleware to make your application be more secure. For example, over here, I'm going to create a fake error to show you how our server responds when there is an error. Alright. Over here, I put throw new error, and then I put fake error. Okay. I'm going to comment here. Okay, let's open Insomnia and then go to root directory or root path, our home page. Okay, click on send. You will see this is how our server responds. It responds everything about our server, every detail about the path in our server, what files does the error happen. I don't want it to show like this. It is not secure for our web application or our API. To solve this problem, we can apply a custom error middleware to our application. Okay, let's create a new folder to store middleware files. Okay, we are going to create a new files inside here. Name is ErrorMiddleware.js. Okay, if you have other middleware files, you just put it in this folder. So what is a middleware? A middleware is a callback function that can detect response error request in your application. It's like a middleman that detects everything. Okay, over here, let's create a function together. Const error middleware equal to function, callback function, arrow function, so, or whatever. All right, we get a function over here. Inside here, we can receive or we can detect 4 parameters. The first one, error, request, and respond, and then next. For testing to show if our middleware works, I'm going to create console log over here, and then inside here, I will put here is an error middleware. As you see, this is only a function, and it can access to 3 variables over here. And how can we use this function? So let me show you how to apply this function to our application. We go to here and then we call app.use. This is how we can use middleware. Okay, and inside here we have to put the function that we want to use. Okay, let's include this function inside server.js. Const error middleware equal to require, and then go to middleware folder and grab the files error middleware here, and then we just copy the name of the function over here. Why we get an error over here? Okay, I think I forget to export error middleware. Okay, let's go to export this function out. Sorry guys. Module.export equal to error middleware. Okay. Okay, let's save it. Okay, it's work right now. Okay, let's send over here. It doesn't respond back because we didn't put respond in error middleware. But over here you can see we get console log. Here is an error middleware. That means our error middleware has been activated successfully. Alright, let's go back to error middleware and then put respond over here. Then respond JSON and put message. It's a JSON object, right? And message we can get from error.message, this error, okay, dot message. The next thing that we can include is stack. So, and we put stack, and we are going to access to .env files, process.env, and then node_env. We haven't created this variable in .env yet, so let's create it over here. And we are going to put over here as production, for development. So because we are developing this application right now, okay, and then go back to our ErrorMiddleware. So this is going to detect whether our application is in development or production mode. So it's equal to development. If it's equal to development, we want to show any stack message, okay? But if it's in live production, we want to show now. We don't want to show error to every people know, because it's not secure for our application. The next thing that we have to respond back is status code. Okay, over here I put con and then status code. We are going to detect a status code over here. For example, I access to respond and then I get status code. If we get a status code, just show the status code. But if we don't get a status code, just show 500 as a status code, okay? And over here we can use status code. Response status code equal to status code. Alright, let's go back to Insomnia and click on send. We have a status code error over here. Response should be status, it's not status code. Okay, let's go back here and remove code over here and go here and click send again. See, it's worked. You see over here the stack show everything because we are in development mode. So how about we are in production mode? Let me change this one to production instead of development. Okay, every time you change the env, you have to refresh the server. Okay, let's go back here and click on send. See, you get only now if you are in production mode. Your server is safe right now. It's more secure. Alright, let's move on to the next step. Let's go to ErrorMiddleware. Let's go to server.js, and then let me remove this one out and uncomment this one. Okay, and let's try our ErrorMiddleware with function in controller over here. Over here you will see this is controller, right? And we can put throw new error over here to test if throw new error work over here as well. Over here just put error.message. Okay, and then over here I can put response code rest.status and then put 500. I can remove this one, and let's go to Insomnia, and then let's try to fetch a product with a fake ID. Okay, let's click on send. You see it doesn't work inside here. It doesn't work in controller. So the problem is async function. So when you have async function over here, you need to use express-async-handler to solve this problem. Okay, let's go to web browser and go to npmjs.com and then search for express-async-handler. Okay, it's over here. Just click on it and then copy this command line and go back to our application to install it. Stop the application, paste it over here, hit enter to install it. Express-async-handler is a middleware that's used for async express route. Okay. Okay, the next step, you just run npm run dev over here. And over here, this is how you include it into your files or into your code. Copy it and paste it over here. And this is how you use it. So you put it in front of async function. Here is async function. So you just put async handler in front of it. Okay, let's go here and put async handler here and then put bracket here. Open bracket and then put closing bracket over here. Okay, let's go back to Insomnia and try again. Okay, you see it works right now. You will see the stack only show now over here. If you want to show it all, you just go to environment and then put this one to be development. Or you have to restart the server every time you change the .env files. Okay, npm run dev, click on send. See, it shows all the error and stack message as well. Alright, the next step, let's go to product controller and change everything to throw new error. Okay, over here I will change this one to throw new error. Okay, just copy and paste, and in front of this async function, just put async handler. This is how you apply async handler to async function. Okay, this is the same thing. Put async handler in front of it and put closing bracket over here, open bracket, don't forget it. And then over here just put throw new error. And this one I will do the same. Put async handler, open bracket and close bracket over here, put throw new error over here. And for delete, we still do the same thing. Okay, I hope you remember everything because it's pretty straightforward and simple. And then paste throw new error over here. Okay, over here you can change it to be throw new error as well. Okay, let's copy throw new error from here and put this over here. Okay, for the message, you can use this message. Okay, copy this message and put this over here. And change the code to be 404. Okay, remove this one. Save it. Okay, let's test this if it's worked. Let's go to delete here. And then let's put fake ID. Click on send. See, it's worked the same. How about I put the ID. Let me get ID over here. Let me go to API products. Get ID here. Okay, and put this over here and change one character. Click on send. See, cannot find any product with ID. See, it's worked the same. Let's copy this one and paste this over here in update. Okay. Alright, you've learned how to set up ErrorMiddleware in Node.js with Express. Alright, the next step, we are going to learn about cross-site origin or CORS. If you want to connect a front end to a back end, you need to allow a specific IP or domain name to access to your backend application or to send a request to your backend application. So if you don't allow it, it will have a cross-site origin problem. For example, let me draw you a picture over here. This is Node application, which is backend. Okay, and we have front end over here. Okay, and front end can be developed with React or Vue or Flutter or any kind of language. And when you want to connect front end to back end application, you will have a problem with CORS policy. Okay, it's important for you to set up CORS policy in the backend side to allow front end to connect with backend. Okay, you will set CORS policy in backend side. Okay, let's learn how to set it up together. Let me show you the front end code over here. This application I've been developed with React, and I send a request to this URL. See, localhost API product. And for the home page over here, I send a request to this API. And if I click on refresh over here, I will get network error. And when I make a right click over here, inspect, and I go to console, you will see the problem is has been blocked by cost policy. No access controller allow origin. So this is cross-site origin problem. We have to solve it in the backend application or our Node API application. Also, I will put the code of my front end in the GitHub. Don't forget to check it out in the description. Okay, let's go to Google and search for cost express, something like this. You will get this link. Click on it here, this URL. It is Express official website. This is how you can install cost in your application. Copy this command. Go back here, stop the server, paste it over here, hit enter. Okay, how can we use it? Go back here. Okay, first of all, you have to include cost into your application. Copy it and put this over here. So you can change this one to cons if you don't want to use var. Okay, and then you can call app.use to apply cost middleware. Okay, you can copy this one and paste this over here directly. Save. Okay, it should work, and don't forget to run npm run dev to start the server. Okay, and then if you go back to front end and refresh it, it will load all data from backend over here, you see, and you right click inspect. So there is no cost side error problem anymore. If you look at the code, if you don't specify a specific domain, it will allow anyone to access to your backend. How about you want to allow only a specific domain or IP address to access your application? What can you do? You just go to the documentation. Here is how you enable multiple route. This is how you can configure your cost. So you can copy this one, var option. Okay, go here and then you can paste this over here. And then just copy this variable and put this inside here. This will allow only exampledomain.com to access to your backend or to access to this API. Okay, if you go back here and if you go to our application and if you press Control refresh, you will see that we can get data from the backend. Let's copy this IP address and port number and paste it over here. You have to remove this backslash over here and save it, and then go back to here and then press Control and refresh. You will see we can get data from the backend. If you want to put multiple domain names, you can put it in array. You can put it like this: http example.com. Save it. See, it still works the same, but for this case I only allow this domain to access to website. So I can leave it to for origin. I think we should put it into .env files. So I'm going to specify it over here. Let's put front end equal to, and then go back to server.js, copy this URL and put it over here. Okay, save it and go back here, and then over here we can put con front end equal to process .env front end. Okay, and then just put front end over here. Save. Okay, and then go back here and refresh here, Control refresh. It's worked the same. How about we change the ID over here to something like this, and then npm run dev. okay, and control refresh over here. It doesn't work, so we have to put the right IP address in front end in here. Save it and then stop the server because we changed the .env file. npm run dev. Okay, go back here, control and refresh. See, it's worked the same. Okay, the next step, we are going to learn how to deploy our application into server. Okay, the server that we are going to use is render. Okay, let's go to render.com. Here, make sure that you sign up and create an account in this website. Let me draw you a deploy step. Okay, to deploy step, you have to upload your code into GitHub. Okay, and then you just deploy it into render.com. Okay, this is your code, this is your computer. Okay, deploy the code into GitHub and then deploy it to render.com. So this is step, this is our code, right, in our computer. So we have to put this into GitHub. I've set up GitHub on my computer already. If you don't know how to do it, just try to figure out it. Search Google or do whatever to set up GitHub on your local computer. Let me create a repository over here. Then I will name it Node API version 2 v2. Okay. For the description, I just put Node API v2. So you can set it to public or private. If you want it to be private, just choose this one. But I want it to be public so you guys can access this code. Create a repository. Over here, I will push it into this directory or into this repository. Okay. For over here, I want it to ignore.env. Okay, I will create .env example file over here. Control C and Control V. Okay, and over here I will put example. I will keep this one over here, but I will remove Mongo URL over here. For git ignore, I just want to ignore .env. Okay, I will push this code into my GitHub. Let me stop this one. Okay, let's put git add. Okay, let's put git init first and git add. Okay, git commit m finished Node API version 2. Okay, and then copy this code and put this over here, and then put git branch main, but I will change it to be master. Okay, the next step, I just push to the master branch. Git push u origin master, hit enter. Okay, refresh here, you will see my code over here. Okay, what is the next step that I'm going to do is to sync this code to render. Okay, let's deploy this code to render. Let's click here and then go to web service, and we just connect to GitHub. Okay, authorize render. We can click all repository or only selected repository. I just click on only selected repository, and then I click on Node API v2, and then I put install. Click install, sorry. Over here we see connect a minute. Let's put connect, click connect here. Okay, and then for the name I will put Node API v2. Okay, I will keep Legion as a default. Branch is master and root is empty. It's okay. And then runtime is Node. Build command, we are going to use npm install. So this one will install Node module package. And for the start command, I will use npm run serve, which is this command to run node server.js. Okay, npm run serve. Okay, we choose free instance and then click on create web service. And then I want you to go to environment files. We are going to add environment variable. Okay, the first environment variable is Node.env. Okay, we can choose it to be development or production. Here you can put development and click add variable, and then get Mongo URL, put this over here, and go copy this one driver and put this over here. Okay, and then add another variable. It should be port. Okay, and port is 3000. Okay, add another variable which is front end, and then the front end URL. You can change this environment variable later, and then save change. And if you go back to event, you will see it start deploying again. You can see the log. You will see our server is running over here, node server.js. See, your server is live. Connect to Mongo. Node API app is running on port 3000. You can copy this one and go to Insomnia. We can paste the URL over here and click on send. You will get hello node API. So if you put backslash and then you put API and then you put products, click on send. See, our API is running. So how about if we open our front-end application? This is our front-end application. It's pretty slow. It doesn't work. But if I want it to work, I have to change the localhost to be the exactly URL, which is this URL. Here, I copy here, come back to here, and I change this one to the exact domain for the backend. I save it. And if I refresh, here it doesn't work. I have to change everything in here to make it work. Over here. And over here. Okay, and create, which is over here. And products is over here. So I think I have changed everything. So let's go to front end. Let's see what is an error. Oh, I think it doesn't work because in the home over here, I have to change this one to API products. Okay, save it. Let's go here. See, it's worked. Everything worked the same. But this one, we extract data from live server or live API. It's important for you to change this one from development to production as well. So just change it to production. So it won't show stack error. Save it. Okay, this is all about this video. I hope you like this video. And if you like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.